Solo Heats is officially over. We know all the players who qualified and those who didn't, and we had some really big names miss out. No Queasy, no Venno, no Cooper, no Bucky, no Kanata. I'll talk about what went wrong and who managed to pull off the qualification. I also want to talk about Clix's ridiculous clutch coming right down to the wire, getting the win in Game 4 of Heat 4. It just feels honestly scripted. This tournament was so much fun. I want to show you some highlights and talk about some of the smaller names that maybe you haven't paid attention to. There's lots to talk about. Let's jump into it. Let's kick off talking about Heat 4. Now, this Heat was extremely stacked on end. We had Clix, Higgs, Kanata, Josh, Cooper, so many big name players, and again, only so few spots. Now, with all the pressure on him right now, I really was wondering if Higgs was going to be able to rise up to it. A lot of people gassing him up as the best player on NA right now, placing like crazy. His mechs look ridiculous, and he came out and won Game 1, a 6 elimination win. With all the pressure on him, live streaming it, it was insane. That means Higgs has now qualified on EU and NA. But if you're a Clix fan, this might worry you a little bit. It had me a little bit worried as well. Clix and Higgs had a great situation going. They were both dropping Wonky Land, which is their regular drop in duos. They both know it really well, and as usual, we're not really expecting them to fight here. Now, while there were some duos or ex-duos and friends that were going the same POIs that did actually fight, sneak peek to Venno getting killed by Queasy a little bit later, most likely Clix and Higgs weren't going to be playing super aggressive. And the way the Wonky Land works so well, and a lot of people have been doing this, we had Epic Whale do it, we had Higgs already do it on EU, they usually tank Storm and stay inside Wonky Land for a really long time, play a bunch of white heals, and then rotate in late, because with the new Storm Surge, you don't need to deal a lot of damage, you just have to not take it. And that works when you're kind of comfortable that you're not going to get keyed super hard, but the next game after Higgs qualified, it created a bit of a power vacuum. A lot of people wanted the loot at Wonky Land, and all of a sudden, Clix and Higgs go from having Wonky Land between the two of them to Clix getting dropped on by 3 separate people. There was now 4 people at Wonky Land, and things went a little bit south. In the next game, we had Clix go down in 39th, and the game after that go down in 61st. Now, things were looking pretty rough at this point. We're 3 games in. Clix is now having a bit of issues with his game plan. He couldn't stream his gameplay to BloodX, his coach, because it was going to cause issues with his PC. So he ended up ending stream so he could stream screen share to BloodX, get some advice, and see if he could lock in. And then he did this in the very next game. Oh, and they're lurking too. Oh, and they're lurking. How can you possibly lose this? How is this guy about to lose? I can't even predict how this is going to go. I have zero clue how this guy's about to lose this. Because Clix is just going to go fucking Ultra Instinct mode all of a sudden. Do you think that was BloodX or Higgs? Do you think they're like, there's a guy there? All right, it looks like Clix is getting into his rhythm now. He's starting to pop off. He's really starting to show the strength he's seen throughout this season. But can he close out the win? Because only 3 games left. It's starting to get rough. The Battlewood Boulevard endgame. Mending Machine is in, but Zone is pulling Max opposite of Vending Machine. It's a top 3. Josh goes down. It's Retro, Taki, and Clix. Taki's one of my picks to get a win here today. We'll see. There's a 2 out of 3 chance one of my picks is right. What has Retro got? 2 builds. Getting sprayed by Clix. Good pressure, Retro. Trying to go to the right hand through the window. Good damage on a Taki. They're both looking weak, though. Retro takes that, gets the Siphon. He's on 125 health. Clix drops down, gets ahead of him, cuts him off, gets the piece control. He has him right where he wants him, and Clix takes the Game 4 win in Heat 4. Rough start to the tournament. End stream, locks in and does it in 1 game. The one and done. It doesn't get more perfect than that. A Game 4 win in Heat 4 for Clix. It was good to see as well, because I was starting to get a little bit worried there. I think if Clix just locked in and played his usual gameplay, didn't try to play a bunch of Storm and change up the strategy, he could have still done it in the last 3 games, but qualification ended up being 153 points. He would have had to average about 40 points a game for the remaining last 3 games, including the points he already had. So a little bit sketchy, but hey, get a win, get it through. Higgs and Clix both through the finals, and it was such a fun finals to watch. As far as the other teams that managed to get wins, we had King Neo, who managed to take game number 2. We had Cade, a controller EU pro, who managed to take the win in game number 3, which with the caliber of this Heat is just ridiculous. Then we had Clix take the win in game 5. Like I said, we then had Void Sultan take the win in game number 6, and Jerry's in game number 5. Now remember, There's still 19 spots of consistency up for grabs. We had Salt, Rapid, Ishu, Josh, Aoxy, Tyler, Larkos, Craze, Seek, Kaz, Ritual, Chavi, Eulogy, Taki, Preston, Blanks, Golden, Reds, and Causes, which means there was some big names that managed to miss out on this heat. So we had Noah W plays in 29th. I've been gassing a bunch in solos. Unfortunately, made it through on West, didn't make it through on Central. We had Cooper in 31st. And again, spoiler alert, none of the dig guys made it. We had Cooper, Kanata, and Bucky all in this heat, and none of them qualified. Now, Bucky and Kanata was a bit different of a story. They both said that they have an upcoming dig event. Again, I only heard about this today as well. Apparently, the dig guys are going to be doing a big kind of event stream for a few days. They go in Arizona with an RV, doing skiing and a bunch of challenges. This was all booked in before the solo series dates even came out, and unfortunately, a lot of this collided with the finals. So Kanata and Bucky weren't going to be able to play the finals anyway. Kanata went out just full W King, didn't care, was literally playing it like a ranked game. So again, no flame to Kanata here. I think if he locked in and played properly, definitely could have qualified. Unfortunately, it looked like Bucky was trying, so he wanted to prove himself, to really prove to people who were saying that he's washed, that he's fallen off, that he can still hang. His first game was phenomenal. After that, things came a little bit unstuck. He was contested off spawn against Noah W players, which would have messed up his strategy a fair bit. Both him and Noah not qualifying in the end. It was unfortunate to see, but again, they couldn't play the finals anyway, but that's some pretty big names to be missing out in this heat. Do you wish you had lower ping while gaming? Of course you do. Everyone would. And that's where the sponsor of today's video comes in. Exit lag. In case you haven't heard of exit lag, it is a connection optimizer. It uses AI with over 1,000 servers across 5 continents to make sure you are getting the fastest connection possible. It simultaneously routes your connection through up to 4 paths simultaneously to make sure you have the smoothest, best experience possible. And the best part is, it is super easy to set up. They either have their auto connections or manual connections. They also have a fantastic Discord that I'll link in the description down below that you can use to get support and make sure your settings are correct. I've been paying for exit lag myself for over 5 years now, and I could not be happier. Not only can it decrease your ping to your home servers if you're far away, it is an absolute must for playing cross regions, for tournaments in Fortnite, or when I try to play with my friends in America, it reduces my ping significantly. Not only that, it has a whole bunch of different games outside of Fortnite, and you can even use it to connect to your favorite shows like Netflix and watch them on regions that are locked to you. Exit Lag is so confident in their product, you can sign up for their 3-day free trial with no credit card and try it out before you buy it. Then, if you like it, which I'm sure you will, they have an insane deal going on right now where you get the annual 12-month plan at the price of 6 months. That's 50% off. So if you're a gamer and you want the best connection possible on all your favorite games, click the link down below and start off 2026 with a bang. Heat number 3 on NA wasn't super crazy, and a lot of the big names in that heat managed to cop the wins very early on. We had the first 3 wins going to Muzz, Sphinx, and Shadow, the X trio. They all absolutely popped off and got those wins. Then we had Carbone, Chance, and Vlex go through, and honestly, that pretty much is 4 of the main players I was looking out for in this heat. We still had other big names get through on consistency as well. Scar, Jagu, Victor V. We had Jack, who played phenomenally well. Papi Blast clutched up the last game because of our hot air balloon. I'll play the clip in the background. It was just insanity. The hot air balloon broke all the builds. Papi Blast was able to capitalize. We also had EU player Akira get through. We had Scroll. So Scroll qualified on 3 regions. He managed to qualify on EU, NA Central, and Middle East. Just ridiculous performance from Scroll. We were missing out on a few players in this heat as well. Carillion didn't make it through. Xbon didn't make it through. But for the most part, all the big names I was expecting to pop off managed to. Moving over to EU, I want to kick off talking about Heat 4. This is the Heat I talked about that had a lot of friends or duos in it. There's a lot of POIs that are being split, and I really thought that was going to be the story of this Heat. We're going to have a lot of the big names splitting the POI, chilling out, getting easy qualifications, but that didn't happen at all. The pace and the tempo got completely thrown off when in Game 1, Queasy took down Veno. Queasy gets the AR and then insta-beams Veno out of the sky. Oh, damn. Wait a second. Wait a second. We are not teaming. Definitely didn't see this one coming, but again, a free kill is a free kill. We kind of assumed that a lot of these guys who are ex-duos or friends that are splitting POIs are just going to be straight up teaming, and it's always been a really sour note in solos, but there are a lot of pros out there like Queasy and Veno who aren't going to fight when it doesn't make sense, but Queasy and Veno actually went at it a few times. There was a game a little bit later where Veno managed to hit Queasy for 190 and almost take him down before a third party spoiled it, so they were definitely going at it throughout these games, and unfortunately, that might have actually been the reason why neither of them qualified. Queasy ended up finishing 45th overall on 100 points, missing out on the qualification, and Veno unfortunately finished in 64th on 61 points. Now, I loved Veno's response to this one as well. Veno made a tweet, not trying to make any excuses, basically just saying, look, this one's on me. This one stings because I had a plan, I just didn't execute it. I got nervous and I just didn't perform as well as I should have, and I didn't qualify. And honestly, I love that maturity from Veno. Didn't try to make any excuses, didn't try to pretend, oh, this tournament's not that important to me. It meant something to him. It didn't work, and I love that attitude from Veno. I'm really hoping he brings it back either in the duo tournaments coming up, or if we get another solo series down the line. I'd love to see Veno get some redemption. He wasn't the only big name that struggled in this heat. We also had names like Marius and Akira also not qualify through, showing how hard this heat was. That means Akira managed to qualify on NA but not EU, which was kind of insane. As for the names that did manage to pop off in this heat, we had Twy get a win, Giras, Tus, Sobi, Truzio, and Kurama. Kurama came out and got the game 1 win, proving that he is one of the best solo players on EU. Really hoping he backs it up in the finals. We had some other big names get through on consistency as well. We had Ilusha, we had Sined, we had Hari, we had Scroll, again getting the triple qual I already talked about. We then had Amos, a super underrated German player, come through and take the qualification. Resgard in 22nd. We had Overhalo, unfortunately, just miss out in 26th. Heat number 3, while potentially not being as stacked as heat number 4, was still a very, very good heat. I really particularly enjoyed seeing Pink come out and get a 5 elim win in game number 3. I love seeing the OGs dominate. Pink is still around, still kicking, still looking very, very dominant when he shows up. We had the first game win go to Big Vinicius. I actually don't know this guy that well, but apparently he's actually Shark's friend in Romania. So not only was Shark able to come out and get his game 1 win and qualify himself through the finals, he coached his friend with only a few hundred earned to get his first qualification to solo series finals as well in game 1. Just Shark honestly just sees solos in a different way at this point. That is just starting to get a little bit ridiculous. Game number 2 went to Cringe. We had Pink, like I said, in game number 3, Dan DePuzo taking game number 4, Angel in game number 5, and then Sarik, I believe it is, in game number 6. We had a few big names get through on the consistency in this heat as well. Sky being the most consistent player without a win. We also had Fastroki, Chicho, Mixon. We had Chino, Flixie, Kiro, Chris, Hizix, Jerdy, Skrill, Misha coming back. Again, if you guys remember Teeny and Misha, revolutionary strats back in the day. I love seeing old names come back and still pop off. Misha's back and kicking. We had Artist, and then also Dexy taking the very last spot. It came right down to the wire for Dexy. If you guys have been following his content on YouTube, you've been part of his masterclass, you know Dexy, unfortunately, for the last few days has been incredibly ill, so I'm very happy he was able to pull off the qualification regardless. I hope he is better for finals because I really want to see Dexy put on the performance. I know he can. He will not be happy with a 25th just qualifying. He did come off the back of getting 2nd place in the NVIDIA Cup, showing that he is a very, very dominant solo player. So he's through, and hopefully he's kicking for the finals. We did unfortunately have Pradaj just miss out in 27th. I love Pradaj. I love the passion he brings to all the tournaments, and it was a little bit sad seeing him miss out in the qualification. We had other big names down leaderboard as well. Yanis in 45th, not being able to get through. We also had Rax, the young Italian demon, W King. He's the one playing alongside Queasy right now in duos, really putting a big name for himself out there, and unfortunately in solos not being able to back it up. I did want to talk about the actual solo finals and go through the drop maps, but because we haven't had the last game of EU take place yet, we still have Heat 1 of EU to take place tomorrow. We don't know those 25 players who are through yet. We know most of them, but we're not 100% sure yet, and a lot of the NA players seem to be switching their drops around. I'm checking the map right now, and even since I started making this video, like 5 people have switched their drops. So I think I will make a solo breakdown video on who's dropping where and give a little bit of like, a hype up for the finals, but I don't think I'll include in this video, so I can wait till the drop maps actually solidify and then go through it properly over the next few days.